So you're welcome. So today is Independence Study class. So we are going to look at the formats. So first and foremost, this is the standard. Excuse me, Mr. Who is not looking at the class, who is not observing, paying attention. Please remind him that we have started the class. Yes. Please, we have started the class. So I suggest you just remove your laptop outside of you and your phone so that we pay attention to the class. Are you there, mister? Can your laptop be shifted another please? So that we concentrate on the class. That's why we're here. Mister, please, can you try? I'll put it the other side of your phone. So,
You can write now.
I believe that all of you are here as independent study class. So, by implication, this is the format from our department. But sometimes you might also look at other students' format and then follow it. But then this is what do we call this one now? What's the name of this page?
It's a front page.
A cover page.
Cover page.
Pardon? Cover page. Okay. Cover page. Some people will call it title page. Yeah. So, do you see how it is written? Title of independent study. So, Mr. Chika, what is your title? Your title.
Sorry, the role of
Please, can you help me just like, or maybe I will do that. So, what is the title, Mr. Chika?
Exploring the role of diplomacy in transiting from anti-government protest to reform in Nigeria.
It's a big grammar.
It's not a big grammar. Exploring.
Remember, I told you if I'm going to be a supervisor, I have to look at it. You have to bring it down to the understanding. So that somebody that doesn't need to pay attention to reading the title more than you pay attention to reading the book.
But the title is just very simple. It's just like exploring the role of diplomacy in transiting from anti-government protest to reform in Nigeria. Like the role of diplomacy.
I understand
Yeah.
the point. It's very clear, but about title. Remember what I said last time?
Mm-hmm.
Your passion is not only in giving the title, but proving the title itself
Of course.
inside your paper.
Of course.
So when it becomes too long, because it is not the paper itself, even then it's inside. That's me, but
Yes. That's how we should wait till when we see the main thing inside.
but then like, you're almost giving the man
What?
information.
Exploring the role of diplomacy in transiting from anti-government protest to reform in Nigeria.
Exploring the role of diplomacy
Yes, in
in
transiting
transiting.
from anti-government protest to reform in Nigeria.
And somebody, what do you have to say about this? Like,
What if you say the role of diplomacy
I know.
is still the same thing?
It's still the same thing. So leave the exploring. Just it gives an intellectual insight.
the know of your heart for that is very good. But let it be inside. What will make it be inside is
Use
very
AI
good.
to tell AI to show.
I don't want AI to tell me what to do. It's just like I know I can put it the role of diplomacy, right? But I wouldn't want it in that way. I just want it to be clear and simple. Just for you to know that we are trying to explore, trying to understand the role diplomacy is going to play.
Abstract. All this thing you're saying now is better put in the abstract instead of making the title.
Yeah, everything will be there.
You're not gonna tell you, but
So the topic is left for me to defend, not for someone to try to oppose my topic. It's
nobody opposing it. The point that you're being guided so that you will just That's your passion. You see the light of the day by the way you capture it. Because title is just like a book. Yes. Then, but what you're saying and the way you passionately you are trying to say, abstract is there. The introductory part of the IS is there.
Yes.
Even the other bodies are there.
Yes.
But if you can in the title make it a lot of straight forward.
I want to really understand what is not straight in the title, because
Nothing.
now exploring is very simple. It's a very simple terminology,
Yeah.
right? Diplomacy is a very simple terminology. Transiting, if you don't use transit, you can say moving. It's a very simple terminology.
Yes.
All these are very simple terminology if you pay critical attention to it.
Or you mean that we're not paying attention?
Yeah, because if you are, you won't be trying to ask more questions about it, because we know what to explore.
What would be your title for your paper academic article presentation?
What will be my title?
Because there are two different titles. Yeah.
No, I thought we are using the same title.
Academic title is part of your yes, not a different title, but it should be part of it.
Then I will just now remove the exploring and use the diplomacy. And before, yeah, of course, this is of course.
Yes, and now you're coming to see. That's the point because whenever I meet this your title, I love the fact that you're very passionate and this thing you want to say. I don't want anybody to challenge you about it. That is very good. That's actually the starting point. But whenever you are asked, it's not that you're being told to drop it, but just for you to be aware that simple title gives you exactly what you want. Then, so that you not put all the power in the title, then forget that the argumentation and analysis. And moreover, title is something that just could capture someone. It doesn't necessarily need to. As a matter of fact, someone doesn't need to know that you're exploring or transiting. But once you get a captivating title, then the person will then see how you got channel all these energies in a particular, in the chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Anyway, can you repeat the question?
Exploring the role of diplomacy.
Exploring the role of diplomacy.
Yes, in transiting from anti-government protest to reform in Nigeria.
Wonderful. Anyway, for me, there isn't much difficult there, but if you can make it similar, it will be better and challenge your energy. So, what I'm trying to say here is the title of the independence that I want to be here. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
So, now, what is the untitle?
China dual diplomacies on Myanmar northern conflict and its impact on conflict resolution.
Wow, this one is even longer. Again.
China dual diplomacy in Myanmar northern diplomacy in Myanmar northern conflict
Conflict.
and its impact on conflict resolution.
Impact
On conflict resolution.
I believe that the person that may likely take care of your topic is Surah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you will not allow this long, I guess, because you can put it a case study of
Northern conflict.
China,
Dual diplomacy.
Chinese dual
Diplomacy in Myanmar northern conflict.
Right. Chinese dual diplomacy, a case study of Myanmar northern conflict. In that way, you are just
Yes.
doing the case study. But anyway, it will be left for you and your supervisor. But again, that may land into a case study.
Yes.
China, is Chinese or China?
China.
Is China.
China.
Chinese?
China
Okay, China dual
diplomacy.
Welcome a case study of northern conflict. Are you guys getting what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You see, that is most likely because it should be a case study of northern Myanmar. But the main strong part of the title is China's dual
Diplomacy.
diplomacy. or Chinese dual diplomacy. I don't know how you. Are you getting the point? But I know your
Yes.
boss. I mean, your supervisor.
Yes.
By the way, Sheikh, have you submitted your proposal?
Long ago. Yes, I've submitted. Let me check the actual. I think that was either last month.
Or last month?
Yes, sir.
Did they give you any answer?
They said they will respond back to me once they get a supervisor.
Okay, so let me jump in that so that I'll follow you up. One, Sheikh, you have submitted your proposal.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, have you submitted your proposal?
Not yet, sir.
Why? What are you waiting? Why? What?
I did. I thought that I need to submit the proposal in the end of this semester.
Madam?
I thought that I need to
No,
submit.
it's also correct.
Okay.
Some people you submit it from the before they even start having the program.
Yeah.
Somebody
Yes.
made it, somebody had it. But now you're cutting the topic.
Yes.
So this class actually should be a class that from the first month or second month you must have gotten a proposal and submitted
Yes.
it immediately. Because proposal is all about checking who will be the person who will be your supervisor.
Yes, sir.
Get that?
Yes, sir.
So you think you can submit it next week?
Yes, it's okay.
Because proposal is not much, just all those things. Of course, I will show you what the content, but I'm sure you know all of them already, both in English or Bible studies and this particular class. So next week I will work on that so that by Friday, Saturday, they'll tell me that you have.
Yeah.
Because once you submit your proposal, it can enable us lecturers to have a meeting in order to know who and when and what to do. Okay, so now can we listen to Henry?
So my own topic is assessing the role of economic development in promoting peace and stability in Nigeria.
Again, please.
Assessing the role of economic development in promoting peace and stability in Nigeria.
Okay, assessing the role of
Economic development
in promoting peace.
and stability in Nigeria.
What have you to say about the chicken? Topic.
Well, I have nothing to say about it because it just try to assess, try to know
Or understand the role of economic, right? The role of economic development in Nigeria, how it helps in the security system, right?
Bringing peace and stability in the country.
In bringing, that's the same thing. That's how it helps in the country.
The role of economic development.
Assessing the role of economic development
Okay, assessing the role of economic development.
in promoting peace and stability in Nigeria.
Okay, assessing the role of economic development in promoting peace and stability in Nigeria, of which we know that if a country's economy is bad, definitely the country is going to be in trouble. And if the country's economy is good, definitely it's going to promote peace in the country. I don't know if I'm correct, guys. Am I?
Yeah, but the point is the title is the title. Because sometimes do you guys often look at other titles or you just you check other titles, academic papers?
You can kind of show off those titles, show off the titles.
Because sometimes my only concern is, of course, my concern is personal concern. It doesn't mean that you have to change anything, but just for you to be aware. Because when you have a captivating title, and the title that just captures what you want to say, all other strength that is in your mind is contained in your abstract or your thesis statement. But what I noticed that most of you put a lot of power in the title, which let me leave it to your supervisor and yourself. Because I'm sure that your supervisor will exactly say what you say. The emphasis is not necessarily on title, but how you defend the title. Even some people, after choosing a title, you'll still have to change it along the line. The spirit that led you to this particular title. By the time you have gotten books or journals. I don't know.
Just put it on. Your friends put it.
I want to change. But that is why when you have a simple title, even when you change, it doesn't affect the title. But when you put more energy in transiting, this one, assessing or whatever. See, when you see, keep battling with that, even if you change the title, and even if you have the need to change, you may not, you must change the title. But if you have a very simple title that is very broad, to some extent, but not too broad, you might land in whatever you discover to change something. It might not affect much the title. So anyway, that is it. Your own is good, your own is good, your own is so good. But before you can academic stuff like this, you need to put it in a way to be easier for you. So that chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4 will be easier for you. You are going to see why sometimes it might be very difficult. Let's move on. So Damian, so what is your own title?
The spatial determinants of violence, examining the influence of geographic proximity on violent interstate relations.
Thesis statement or title?
Oh,
Is it a thesis statement?
it's actually a thesis statement.
Okay. But then what's the title?
This is my thesis statement. I thought that.
Thesis statement now. Thesis statement is different from title.
Oh,
Because I want most of you give thesis statement.
oh. Okay.
Read it again. Just read it gradually.
So the spatial determinants of violence.
Special determinant of
Spatial determinants
Spatial.
of spatial, like space. Right?
Oh, space. Okay.
Yes.
Spacious.
Yes, spatial determinants of violence, examining the influence of geographic proximity on interstate violence.
On interstate violence. I just get interstate violence. The other ones are very
And he's talking about violence.
Examining the proximity. Basically, the notion is that the closer, so in like social science, normally it's said that the closer people are, and this can be observed with families as well, the closer people are, their relations to one another, the more rude they are to one another. This is just how people are. But
there's the last phrase you used now. Left time. I mean, can you read it again? Can you read your stuff again?
oh, examining the influence of geographic proximity on interstate violence.
So the main topic there, interstate violence.
Violence.
Other things might be a case study, other things might be an example, other things might I still think they have to rearrange.
Okay.
So that for me that is very nice. But you have to touch how it feels.
What about it, sir? What could be changed to make it a bit? Should it be more specific or?
Exactly, if it's more specific and more particular, but the point that the main thing is interstate violence, which is very nice. The good thing is that all of you are titles so far. They are wonderful because they are aligned with our program. You understand your own diplomacy. I pray that Soko will take care of that. But the point of whatever they say, Nigeria and gas. Plus, you think that the consumer will take care of that. And your own consumer as well. Then, Henry, what can you reach out to
Assessing the role of economic development in promoting peace and stability in the world.
Oh, okay, then that would be likely to challenge. And then you are on dialogue, racial,
Interstate violence.
interstate violence. I don't think it is challenge to me. But the point is that the earlier we start to rearrange it to be easier, the better. The reason is not to see it, but we get into social review. But the more you put so many things in a title, the more you expect it to defend it. The literature review will be headed for you. The objectives will be headed for you. Your questions will be headed for you. But if you follow this format now that you have, then you might begin to get tired, get bored. But the if you're able to put a simple topic, it might help you, might guide you into looking at the theory, looking at the literature. When you bring in so many words, it means that you'll be able to tell us the theory of transiting, theory of dialogue, theory of protest. Because that's what all of you have to understand. That dual diplomacy, Chinese dual diplomacy. So you have to get a theory of diplomacy. And then the northern the conflict, then the theory of conflict. Which one are you going to apply? I don't know if you guys are getting the point. The more that a title, if you put, let me put it this way, if your title is worded so much with so many terminologies, then be ready to defend those words.
So is this a better version?
With the mic,
Yes.
okay.
Is this a better version if I like reword it and I say analyzing the relationship between territorial proximity and violent conflict in international relations?
All right. It's
Is that
getting-
more
it's getting clearer.
more defined?
Yeah, it's getting more, clearer and, how would I say, it? Getting simpler.
The relate
Then, and you are using another thing now your titles. Always try to employ terminologies, international relations, terminology, and then political terminology. And then you have to use the correct terminology.
Yes.
So once you use it, it will help you in your theories. It will help you in your chapter. Just like you have used the rightful terminology right now. Probably in your literature of not but there are so many stories already in this international conflict.
yes.
That is part of it. Use the right terminology so that that terminology will guide you and make your theories very easy in chapter 2 if you are following this format. Okay. Okay, that is it. Okay, Sharman, what's the topic you are battling with?
So I was thinking to pick the topic that the role of tribal women in local governance and political participation in India.
Okay, the role of what?
Tribal women.
Tribal women.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just want to pick this
The
topic:
role of tribal
women in local governance and political participation.
So you have to give us the theory of local government, have to
And
give us the theory of political participation. Yes,
is it okay?
it's okay. I'm not here to say that the title
Yeah.
of the topic is wrong, but let you be aware that your topic, if you are ready, and your topic determines every other thing inside the paper. The more you bring in something new, right, the more you're able to bring the theories in which you are targeting.
Yep.
Remember theoretical framework and conceptual framework. Your theoretical framework is coming from your title. Even conceptual framework is coming from the theory in which that is backing up your title. So the easier, how will I put it? The simpler the topic, the simpler the struggle to defend the topic.
Mm.
But if you have all the theories, you have all the books, no problem. Let's go on. Just like repeat what you said again, see what you're going to see there.
The role of tribal women
The role of tribal women,
in local governance and political
the
participation
role of tribal women,
in local governance
local governance,
and political participation
political participation
in India. So
in India. Mhm. Local government governance and political participation, a case study of tribal women.
yeah, it's gonna be quite broad.
Local governance and political participation in India. We can local governance, political participation, a case study of tribal women.
Yeah, that
Because in sometimes the title might be long, but when you put it, you have separated it and made it very simple. But it's a very nice one because it's still in line with our department. Because every topic should be in line with
Yeah.
so that just like MAPD, if you watch the orientation there in MAPD,
Yeah.
I posted the YouTube.
Yes.
Did you watch it? Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Are you sure? What did Emmanuel say in that MAPD orientation say? Somebody, one student called Emmanuel. What did he say?
Isn't that like Prime Minister of Nigeria?
Huh?
Emmanuel Obi is a student here.
He's
He
a
said
student.
something about.
Oh, I thought it was the head of
You know, Peter Obi.
That's what I was gonna say. Why wasn't this more?
You know, Peter Obi. Emmanuel Obi is a student in MLB. He said something in that orientation day, and I captured it very well. You know what he said? Who can remind me? Who can remember? He said that our program is evangelizing for peace. That we should be evangelizers. We should be evangelizers. So, and then I now answer. Who remember my answer to that? One of my answers. I said the best way we will start evangelizing is to start by making our title academic evangelism. Because our title, just like this, all these wonderful topics we are mentioning now, that is the best way to evangelize about peace. Because you're not evangelizing it academically. Somebody will Google, maybe Google checker, what then look at what I said, or Google about protest and transiting. Yeah, these are transiting. Immediately you see how you are advocating for peace. The same applicable to northern Myanmar conflict. Somebody will see now what he said about the conflict. That in the case of economy, how can economy, better economy bring peace? Then in the case of Demian,
Interstate violence.
interstate violence. You see that? Then in the case of Sharma, political, local government, political participation, and the role of tribal women. Okay, so when you combine all this, you now see that you already are evangelizers of this academically. So that is the job. Let me get to the rest. Let me see this topic. So what is the own topic?
Igbo apprenticeship system and its role in shaping the economic and social dynamics of Nigeria, a case for peace.
Again.
Igbo apprenticeship system and its role in shaping the economic and the social dynamics of Nigeria, a case for peace.
Yeah, the point that you said the case for peace actually meant as humanizing. Because you know, choosing a topic, when you say a case for peace, that topic entirely is a case. He's trying to argue about it. But what I'm noticing in some of some of your topics is that you tend to be authoritative passionately, not knowing the danger and where to go. But if you use the word case study, that step already is better. I mean, everybody that sees it, we know you're talking about the case. That is if you know what is case study. But so this particular one, even though it's still very long, but the case for peace is just like there's already itemized what where you directly. But anyway, all of your papers, I'm very happy. The reason because in our program, we would like students to graduate writing something about the program. So I can see that because sometimes some people might write something different that has nothing to do with the program. But what all of you are saying is telling me now, that you are now writing, you have a wonderful kind of topics that connect, and the topics that connect very well with our program, and that's exactly the essence of doing the independence study. So, having said that, you see where the topic will be. You see, this is a cover page or title page. But remember, now your paper has been presented in academic conference. So the main topic you have now must not be the same topic, the same title you will present in an academic conference. The same thing is applicable to you, and the same, exactly the same title must not be the same title. That there must be some, there should be some, change. Changes of words, the title, phrase or whatever, so that if you Google your name, it comes out as an academic paper, right? But then, if you now submit your finally as a, if you Google it, you shouldn't come with exactly the same so that you don't plagiarize your title. I'm not sure if you are getting it. Plagiarism is not only about, but it's also about the title. Are you there? Shaman, you get the point. Celeste, are you getting the point? I think you have presented already. So in South Africa, you have already gotten that type of paper presentation.
This is not the topic I used.
Hello?
This is not the way I use the topic.
Correct. So in another video, then when I guess that will be posted and published, the two titles may resemble but not exactly the same. I don't know if you get the point. Just know that because most of our students are battling with it. Independent study is like a thesis, but it is independent project because you have done 2 electives already, or 3 electives, depending on the university. So, in that independent studies, because of the Ministry of Education here, the regulations, you are expected to now publish part of your independent studies. Part of it. So, it does not mean that a son should be graduating with a father. The grandfather is independent study, and we got a son, which is conference. So even though they are the same father and father and son, but they are still different individuals. Are you getting the point?
Yes.
Okay. So the title will be there. The next thing is your name boldly. A name here, don't forget. If you have started using an academic name, you have to maintain it. Your name right now is cool. Sylvester Shaker, Machuku. If you Google Sylvester Shaker, probably the student ID will appear in Siam University, demonstrating that you've got this kind of name, academic name. So now, if you are independent service and in your conference, you cannot just use this name and change it. This ID cannot be changed again. That is how academic name goes. So the name you are using now, and you are independent, so make sure that you are aware that you are now getting into identified academic name. Do you have any question for that? Any confusion? Okay, so the name will be there, and then some people will put their student ID. Then again, look at how it is written. Everybody's form should be written like that, unless it change. An independent study submitted in partial fulfillment of the requirements of the degree of Master of Arts in Peace Studies and Diplomacy, Siam University, month, year. Some people write the month and year, but eventually by the time they finish it, actually. So, do you have any question in this cover title or?
No, sir.
Any question? Huh? Okay, so I move on to which page is this one? This is approval page. Normally, depending on university, this is called title page or cover page. But this one is what approval page. This particular one sometimes doesn't have any page number.
Doesn't count as a page.
Just like that.
Cover.
Depending on what of you from most semesters study, just like that. No, just in when the cover page. The same thing that are here in when you what do you call it? Find it, right?
Yes.
So now this is a cover page. I think a cover page normally depends on the message has number. Roman, is it Roman figure?
Roman. Roman numeral.
Roman number, the one that is like this. Look at this one. You see, this is one. We call it Roman numeral, right?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5. These are, it depends on how you are ready because normally somebody was doing like this. Just to informate, these are all the information, the pages that are giving information about your paper. So you have to, so these are approval page. So you see in the approval page, you have to repeat the dependent story title again, in case you have forgotten it. You are trying to, author, who is the author?
Me.
Yourself. Remember, I never change the name. If it's Damian Master Man, Damian Master Man, the exactly. For example, some students when they want to present them, they will say, Dr. Manuel, what from my academic name? My academic name is Dr. Manuel Mike. To remove anything, there is no longer my the circle applies to you. Then the student ID. Then this independent study has been approved to be partial fulfillment of the requirement of the degree of master in peace studies and diplomacy. Committee chairperson. That is if there is a committee chairperson. Otherwise, advisor. Otherwise, the committee chairperson will be advisor. The chairperson will sign for them. Then the dean will also sign because it's the dean of the council. Do not forget, this format, you may even put it in your own way, provided you get the remaining information. Okay. So the fact that you are coding a format does not mean that, for example, it depends on your topic, it depends on your approach. If you are writing cultural paper, social paper, psychological paper, and economic as a topic, they are not the same. You might choose a different format. Hello, everybody about that? So this is the approval page. Acknowledgement page. This, you see what is written here? Do you agree? Must your own be like this?
No.
Hello?
No.
Not be anybody to teach you how to acknowledge someone, right? That's the fact. So, but not because of the weak aspect of some students, just put the sample, just from another. You are not doing very well that you can decide who to acknowledge and how to acknowledge, or even not to put acknowledgement.
Doctor, when you come to the acknowledgement, the language that you use is also supposed to be like academic language.
I don't think so.
Can you just, I like my brother, my cousin, thank you for opening the fridge for me that night. Can you just,
Yeah, that is why it's a Roman numeral. It is not often too serious part of, it's not a serious part of the paper because you're just giving information. The real paper has not started. So acknowledgement, what if you say, my son, thank you for giving me time when I was reading at night, that helps you.
precisely, yes.
Yeah, but that is that, or even your girlfriend. You mentioned your girlfriend and say, I can never forget the time you are support. Yeah.
Hey, guys, it was just actually
This is on the paper.
Yeah, so see, so that is it. You that's a very nice observation. Acknowledgement page is up to you. That's provided that English is simple. Then dedication. The same thing applies to dedication. Dedication. The same thing applies to dedication. This page. You see that? This independent study is dedicated to.
Now, what's the difference between this and the I thought this was I thought this was the same as the acknowledgement.
No. Acknowledgement thanking those who assisted you, thanking those who have helped you, thanking those who are the university and the opportunity. But dedication is maybe is the love person. The person maybe someone pushed you to start studying, and by the time you finish, he has died or he has died. And you have to dedicate the person to him or her. Or someone that has pushed you and encouraged you, it may be a professor, it may be a lecturer, it may be a teacher in a primary school or secondary school or a place of work. It might be the fact that by the time you are finishing your coursework, your son work, you dedicate it to you, or your daughter work, or you dedicate it to you. So dedication, all these pages are just personal things, like just like informal things, informal expression. Declaration. This page is for declaration. I do hereby declare that this research is entirely my own work, and that it is original unless specific acknowledgement said otherwise. You sign. And currently, I am sure this is old version, because there is also it stated that the lecturer, the advisor should also sign to use the declaration page. But anyway,
It makes sense. It makes sense that they are.
yeah, the lecturer will sign. I mean,
I understand.
we have been using this one before the quality assurance department expect the advisor to also sign. But then when you have a good paper, these are not the good class. These are not the approved. You can use only the abstract. So you can remember what we were saying. So the title, we have to repeat the title again, and repeat your name again, and what degree, and then the abstract. This is the format, but personally, do you think that something is wrong in this abstract? This is our format we are holding. This is just a format. This is just a standard. The intention is to enable students to understand the context of abstract. So may I ask you, is this a format correct the way it is here? If you have it, let me see it. The thing is,
Let me see the
the word abstract. What is wrong with this?
Normally it's just the abstract and then normally it's just the heading abstract and the abstract is under that.
Yeah, no, the format is abstract, and this page is abstract. So that the information here is just because I'm not but then I mean the content of this abstract. The content of this abstract, do you think it should be like this? The content. Any comment? I need someone to look at it. If you
Universally, abstracts should be in block form. Universally. There shouldn't be paragraphs in abstracts. I mean, I think this is the first time I'm seeing an abstract. If you, this is the first time I'm seeing it like
this
this.
is what I want to, because remember, this is just a format. And remember, each page, I've always been reminding you that this is just a format. And then this format is because of the level of the students. So to be aware of what to abstract is actually a paragraph that you only want. Normally it is a block form. Then imagine if you do use indented form, but it should be one paragraph.
But sir, it should look nothing like this, right? Because normally it's just the heading abstract and the abstract comes in the bottom. Not
Yes.
all of these.
Yeah, but because this one is student,
Yes.
not normal journal.
Like a guide to it.
Yeah, this is just a student paper because they want to be sure that student is repeating his name, his ID, in case it's someone has stolen his paper. So that is understandable. But the main thing is the content itself. Content itself. By the way, should abstract be one page, 2 page? Come on. Abstract should be higher, 150 or 200 words or 250 words.
One fat paragraph.
Yeah, just go straight. But the reason why the department gave this way to enable the students to understand what they expected to see in your abstract. Do you remember when I was teaching? This is from that what www.h. It might even be in sentences or 4 sentences or 5 sentences or half, depending. But most important thing that is it is containing the entire information that abstract should contain. Are you guys there? Take any comment about abstract and how, because that is what I just want you to point out. Don't get carried away with this format. This is just a guiding principle, a guiding paper. Don't blame the department or blame them because most times we get involved in the blame game. No, because you're a student, because you are being guided, you are given what should be the content of an abstract. Because many students are battling a lot about it. That is why you are given what should the abstract look like. What you should, what the content of abstract. What are you writing about? Why are you writing what you're writing? What is your objective? What is your methodology? I mean, how did you get it? What did you find? So when you get this WWHW or 4W and 1H depending, that is the most important thing. So your abstract will not just be, even if it is 150 words or 200 words, the most important thing is just to make it, to give the main information should be there. So this format you are seeing is not meant for you to follow everything, but it is a guiding information for you to know what abstract should contain. And because if it is not put in a paragraph like this, if it is not put in this way, it is put, some students may still get confused. So that's why the exercise here is to let you know about the content of an abstract. Then we can ignore the format, which is the way it is written here. Now, do you have any question about that? Any comment? Any comment?
No, sir.
Damien? Shama? Celeste?
Those
Can you
The keywords below the abstract, where does it come from?
definitely it should come from your paper so that somebody will click your paper. Honestly, I don't know about IT. I understand that the keyword, the key information you're talking about. The main thing that your paper is all about. For example, talking about Igbo traditional what
Igbo apprenticeship.
then apprenticeship, one of the West. Igbo, one of the other one. Feeling any other two. So that imagine is online. I guess if it's on line, read something like that. That's an article. That's what I think.
is it meant to be on the abstract?
Well,
Is it meant to be on the abstract?
most abstract they would like you to submit the keyword as well. This is a technical.
Because I was thinking keywords should be some technical words you have in the abstract that needs to be maybe looked for in the internet or the meanings or something like that. But I think that your explanation is better because for somebody searching for an article, there should be keywords that will help me find the article very fast instead of looking for it, searching all around. The keywords should be there.
If you just press the keyword, the article will also come out. Monday. For example, talk about dual Chinese dual diplomacy. You can say dual diplomacy as keyword.
Obviously, that also always at the back of the textbook.
So any other question? Thank you for this. But don't forget, please, like Damien has consistently pointed out, abstract here has title, has name, has student ID, and department. Don't forget, it's because you are a student. Apart from being a student, abstract you don't have all this. You have nothing doing here. But because this is the student paper submitted, it's just like having your idea paper in every page to make sure that the paper is yours.
So when we submit, will it be with all of these things, or will it be actual like abstract the way we know it?
Yeah, of course.
Would it be like
Apart from being a student paper, abstract just
So this is just spoon feeding, just to
yeah, just
Okay.
put abstract and then you keep the abstract. So this is very highest 150 words or 200 words. Not the way. Just always remember that we're just giving students direction. And this was done not by me, by Professor. Because the one we were using before, I was using philosophical methods, writing. And then that, I get two different things. And then, but most of my students that I supervise, they follow that philosophical format. Okay, but you know, the Professor is a lawyer. But anyway, all these formats change over time. Yeah, but
Why
then I don't know, ask those who are putting it up. But I think maybe they could, just like things are developing, people are developing, ideas are developing now. Format, this format or formats?
Format.
Format, no S, right? The format is also developing. In the sense that, for example, now I won't be surprised. The new review of APSI will come up with recognizing WhatsApp or recognizing Facebook or recognizing YouTube and other sources, which the originality cannot do. Because the information, we are talking about information. The information they are looking for is coming from, through all this. Even if they don't recognize it, they might put it as a documentary, kind of documentary. Yeah. So, anyway, the main thing that this is an abstract page, and I'm saying that. See, table of contents. In this table of contents, that's why we now put all the pages and the titles and subtitles. See them there? Acknowledgements, education, the declaration, abstract table of contents itself has its own page. And then chapter 1. Okay, now, who has not submitted the proposal? Okay, have you submitted?
Yes.
When?
Yesterday.
Huh?
Yesterday.
Wonderful. Okay, so Chairman, have you submitted proposal?
No, yet.
Are you going to submit it this week? Yes.
We were aware about that.
What about what?
We didn't know that we have to submit the proposal.
You're supposed to know.
But,
You are registered
but sir,
independent.
you did told us that we have to submit it. for the-
No, I'm just suggesting you submit on time. Nobody's accusing you of anything now, but it's better you submit on time. Because after doing this course, you'll be assigned with a professor that will take care of your independent study. So try to make sure you submit it before Friday or something. Because proposal is not a big deal. It's a difficult thing. Huh? Because yes, the main thing targeted, the targeted when you submit on time is your title, your topic. Your topic, so that will now channel you to your advisor who will not look into your paper. So the literature review and all those things. But then submit your proposal first, because it's one page.
What does the proposal entail? Sorry.
Huh? Which means you're not reading, you're not replying on my YouTube channel.
Sorry to be hard. But like for this specific one that we have to
That is exactly what I'm saying. Look at chapter 1. Proposal is all about chapter 1. So the proposal, background and significance of the research. Research questions, research objective, scope of research, research methodology, conceptual framework. Anyone that is too difficult for you can remove it because I just propose it. You get that? And then definition of them, limitation of research, expected benefit of the research is up to 1.9, sometimes 1.10, sometimes 1.11, depends on the group. But the main thing is that proposal should be submitted. Don't think too much about it. In my YouTube, I have something about proposal. Proposal is just chapter 1. What you're about to do. Then when you submit it and submit it to the department, we may be looking at your title. Because that your title is what we're interested in. We may not begin to go into all this, but we are looking at your title so that we channel you to a proper professor or lecturer or scholar that will attend to you, who will now tell you, will share with you or you share with him or her about their questions, objective, score, blah, 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 blah. Do you understand? That is why submit on time is very important. Shaman, don't be scared about it. Go and submit. Make sure you submit before Friday so that we will schedule a meeting and then that is the essence of registering this course. You should be attending this course with your title. So that everything that is done in this course, you'll be asking questions that is very important to your title. Sam, are you getting the point? The reason for this subject is that you have submitted your proposal, and then in this particular subject, all the questions you are asking, all the presentations you are making, for example, when you want to do presentation, then you are channeling it to your paper. So that you will not finish doing this independence on for nothing. Are you there? Chick, are you getting the point? So yeah, this your transiting would be well transited. Uh-huh.
The transit is really, you're really enjoying the words.
So this should be the content of your proposal. That don't take it too serious. Even if you have 1 page or 2 pages or 3 pages, and where you think you can get all these are online, you can always search for them. Any questions here? Chick, do you have any question? Any questions?
So for the research proposal, we don't need to put a chapter to literature reviews.
No, because you
Oh,
remember proposal, we are just interested in how to see
yes.
how who will direct you as a person. Then you can
Yes,
now bring everything. At least at this level. Because this is independent stuff. But if you are writing thesis, the different thing altogether.
Yes, sir.
Because you have to defend your proposal. See the difference between thesis and IS. You have to defend that proposal before the panel. And they will give you correction. Then you start writing, after writing, like you come and defend your thesis. But the independent studies between you and the department and advisor. Because you've already done 2 courses already. I mean 2 courses already. So this is just part of it. So the most important thing is you have not to do well to submit it. So Andre, you said you have submitted. Tell me, have you submitted your proposal? How many subjects left for you to graduate?
I think there's nothing. I don't think there's anything left.
Oh really? Are you sure? Are you thinking or are you supposed to be sure?
No, I'm sure.
Oh really?
Yes, sir.
So this is your final semester. Wonderful. But I have to check. We have to check it again. Let me be sure. We are talking of information. Shama, is this your final semester?
Yes, sir.
Nothing left? Okay, very good. How about you, Celeste? This is your final semester. Nothing left. Huh?
This one's I'm doing.
The final. Okay, that's very nice. Okay, look at it. Remember, in literature review, to answer objective 1, check out. Are you guys getting it? Look at this literature review chapter 2. Concept of theories. Theory, concept and theory of 211, 212, 213. You see that these are theories you are trying to use in defending what you are writing.
Depending on objective 1.
In defending what you are writing entirely, what you are writing generally, you have to understand it that way. These theories, you are using them to defend what you are writing about. Remember, it all depends on format like this. If you use this particular format given to you, then the 2.1 is depending on the theory for objective 1. Then chapter 3, title of chapter 3 is taken from objective 2. You see why it answers. That's why in philosophy, don't follow it. We are better, we are more specific. Yeah. So, but the most important thing about literature review is that 212 you sieve out the theories. You show the theories. Explain why this theory is what you are following and why these theories are important in your paper. Are you getting confused here? Hello?
That means actually they're looking for you to use to come up with new theories.
Up to you, might be four, might be five. That is
But at
important.
least minimum of three.
Yes, but you should have in mind three objectives. You should have in mind three questions, research questions. Remember with what you said last time. Research questions and research objectives are research. One, you ask the other one as a question. The other one, you put it as a demonstration to showcase to apply. Then, when you don't come into chapter literature review, which is chapter 2, you will now bring in theories, having in mind that those theories are actually the theories that will attend to your three objectives. Imagine that 2.1.1 is the theory about first objective. 2.1.2 theory about second objective. 2.1.2 theory about third objective.
But, sorry to cut you short. I mean, from the
This is this
from
format.
That I'm saying from the template, it's a note answer objective one.
If you follow this
Only
format,
objective one. Right?
yeah, that is this particular format.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, this particular format, but I am not, I'm digressing, I am not limiting you to this particular format.
Okay, because if you are looking at this particular format, it says that chapter 2, you try to address objective 1, chapter 3, you try to address objective 2, and chapter 4, you try to,
The process,
yeah, process, yeah.
which is, if you look at it, it sounds very confusing. Because the following this, always remember this homework you're handling is not final. This is just a format the platform we have used for Cambodian students that we directed. But most of my students are different format. But because this one is submitted, but I have my own too. The most important thing is that whichever format, an academic writing, just ask yourself which format are you following. So if you are following this particular format based on their topic, the kind of topic, the kind of paper you are projecting, then you can work. But for me, the chapter 2, to make it simpler for in terms of teaching in the class, get everybody get it clear. To make it very simple for you, literature review is chapter 2. So you should be able to provide theories that will support your objective. Theories that will support answer the questions. Theory that I know those you imagine you have three objectives, right? So there are those objectives because what is academic writing? Remember, it's not about profiling the solution. It's not about solving the societal problems, right? So now, but you are basing it on chapter 2, you show us the theory, people that have solved it, people that have used it. That is what you are trying to show us in chapter 2. So after mentioning those two reports, at the back of your mind, you have in mind that all these theories are the theories we also use in chapter 3 to answer objective 1, in chapter 4 to answer objective 2, in chapter 5 to answer objective what? 3.
Three.
Then your paper might have chapter 6, which is discussion and findings, or conclusion and recommendation. I hope you guys are getting it right. So when you're absorbing these things you have here, don't get confused because this is just a format given to you to look into. Then, if you are new and you are advisor, might have a different format from here based on their topic. I'm not sure if you guys are getting it right. We are talking about, for example, look at the important things are talking. The way you channel it might change this format entirely. Okay, can you go to Siam Siam Igbo and look for the name Emmanuel Chukwuemeka? You might even go to get it. Emmanuel Chukwuemeka. check. Government. The man that took American mic. Everybody. The man that took American mic. Let me don't use my phone. Let's use it for example. Everybody. Emmanuel Chukwu Emeka Weke. Emmanuel Chukwu Emeka Weke. Let me if Chama will remember the name very well. He's in Siam University. He research. I really got it once to put it in here. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? Chika, have you seen it? He wrote about the agitation of indigenous people of Biafra and its impact on Nigeria's national development, 2012 to 2022. Chama, have you seen it? Huh? The agitation of indigenous people of Biafra and its impact on Nigeria's national development is long but very specific. And what makes it long here is not because it's long, because of the name. The name IPOP. Remember? It looks long, but just because of writing indigenous people of Biafra, just sentence. Okay, are you guys seeing what you submitted? Huh? Do you see that? Can you go to the table of contents? Are you there? Do you see its table of contents? Automatically different from what we're talking here. Check it. The table of contents. Did you see all these formats in this table of content? This format, did you see it in this table of content? You see? Chapter 2 is what? What is chapter 2? What is chapter 2? Can you read it? Can you read it, chapter 2? Spirituality from the African world, we like chapter 2. But what is chapter 2 in this format? Literature review. What is chapter 3? Methodology. What is chapter 3? Research methodology used. So what is chapter 4?
Data presentation and analysis. Data presentation and analysis.
Yeah, you see? Are you getting something there? Are you getting something there? Oh, you are out of it. I just want you to see why you don't get confused with one particular format. You are advising my insight to follow a particular set of format. Chika, do you get it? What is the chapter 3 then?
I can't really see the chapter 3.
No, you have to look at. Oh, you look at the
Research methodology.
In chapter 3.
Yes.
What is the chapter 4? What is his chapter 4?
Data presentation.
You see? You see? What is his chapter 5?
Recommendation, summary, and conclusion.
Recommendation,
Summary and conclusion.
Do you understand what I'm saying now? So this is just a template as an example. Because if you look at it now, you see that it's a template given to the Cambodian student.
So does that mean that we can ignore this?
No, not you. Your advisor and you, depending on your topic, can decide the particular format you can follow in order to drive your academic idea forward. Yes, of course. And I'm the supervisor. No, it's also signed as head of the department. Okay, now this paper, can you go to declaration page? Can you go to this declaration page? The declaration page. Because these are samples we're supposed to be following instead of, okay. You see the declaration page? Did you see the professor? I mean, did you see his supervisor signing? Huh? That is it started, they were there last year, they started adding up to this particular format we are giving now. The QA department, say you are their supervisor will also sign it. Hello guys, do you see that? So what I'm trying to say, they don't get confused. Don't get confused with a particular format. Any academic paper goes with a lot of formats, depending on the department. Depending, and also depending on the topic. It depends on the topic. Now, look at I'm showing you the latest submissions from our students. Another one, I think, another one, Chuka operator. Can you Google Chuka operator? Why I wanted to show you an example so that you see, you know that it's not necessary that you follow a particular format. It depends on you and your supervisor. And it depends on your type of writing. So let me just show that. Oh, I think show that. Hope I'm getting it. So that is operating. Idea of peace in employment status correct. Idea of peace in employment status and substance is among the youth. Did you see the article? Come again. The idea of peace. The idea of peace in employment status and substance use among youth. The idea of peace in employment status and substance use among youth. Did you see it? Have you seen it? Have you guys seen it? Have you seen it? The idea of peace, the title of articles, the idea of peace in employment status and substance use among youth. Have you seen it? Chairman, you have seen it? Okay, now I want you to go to his paper. Go to his paper. Now, see the problem we also have. Sometimes, you know, in Siam University, there's a particular office that approves abstract. Do you know that before your paper is submitted, there's a particular guy that approves abstract in Siam University?
Really? That is one job.
Yeah, he's a lecturer, so
Oh, wow.
when assigned to approve, that's why you can see someone's signature there. Okay, now get to his content of, look at his content. What is in chapter 2? Tell me, Celeste, what is in chapter 2? Huh? What is in chapter 2? Literature review. But remember, the other one is not literature review, right? Are you guys getting what I'm trying to drive? Are you getting where I'm heading? So you don't get stuck with this kind of problem only. Depends on your direction. And it depends on you and your supervisor. So what is it chapter 3 now of this guy? Huh? Methods. Okay. What is chapter 4, Cheka?
I've not even seen the guy.
Okay, Chairman, what is in chapter 4? Data analysis and result findings. Okay, what is chapter 5? Tell me. Discussion, conclusion, and
But sir, it's same thing with this. From what I'm hearing, what they are saying, it's same thing with this Chukwu Emeka.
no, it's not. Chapter 2 is different in altogether.
Methodology. This one they wrote method
They wrote research methodology
for the other guy.
for Chukwu Emeka now. Uh-huh.
This one is 2003.
This one is method.
This one is 2003.
That one is what? What did they write there? What they write there?
They
The
wrote method.
just method.
Yes.
Is it not methodology?
No, you cannot. The message here for you to be aware that
They have
your
a
format depends on you and your topic and your supervisor.
Okay.
And Chukwu Emeka chapter 2 is different from this guy chapter 2.
Okay.
It's not the same. So the essence is that I'm trying to drag you into knowing that it's not a must that you follow this.
Okay.
It depends on you and your supervisor and the type of write-up you are putting on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank God that you pointed out because I was like thinking you have to follow strictly
No.
this template, and it's really this template is not the template that I knew when I wrote my undergraduate. So it was really kind of a little bit confusing.
Exactly. So but that's what I'm saying that at the end of the day, the content, what is even if you use this template, another person uses this same academic writing, the same thing. It's just methodology or methods. So that's why I'm trying to let you know that as you're looking at this template, don't get confused. Remember what I was saying in literature review? I said 2.1.1 theory, 2.1.2 theory, 2.1.3 theory. You are citing it as answering to objective one. Because of this particular template, it does not mean that that is applicable. If you are if I want to advise you, I wouldn't use it. I would rather use, if I want to use this template, I will now make literature review as theory 1, theory 2, theory 3 separately. So that it will be easier for you to go to chapter 3 to answer objective 1 with that theory 1. Then chapter 4, objective 2 with that second theory. Chapter 5, objective 3 with the third theory. It will be easier for you also. But all these things would depend on your topic and how you are channeling it. Can we go on break for a while?
Okay.
Okay, so we have to start from where we stopped. So Shika, is it getting clearer?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Nan, is it clear to you that once you meet your advisor, once you submit your proposal, the university will assign who will take care of your independent study, then the format will be determined, whether it's this particular one or whether your advisor will advise correctly on the best format that you will use in order to defend your paper. Damian, are you there? Do you have any question for that?
Not really. Just the supervisors, the way that you want to make your own supervisor, right? Supervisors give it to you, right? So are the supervisors selected in? I'm sorry. Are the supervisors then selected in like what their strong points are and how suitable your title is?
Again,
So
can you reframe your question? Let me get it.
Like your supervisor, is it selected by which title you give? So
Yes.
So the subject
Once
of
you
your
mention
title.
your title, the committee will look at the professor or the lecturer
That most aligns with it.
Yes.
Okay.
So that is why somebody like Henry and his topic might be what is that your topic, Henry?
Assessing the role of economic development in promoting peace and stability.
assessing the role of economic
So
development,
economics.
promoting peace and stability in Nigeria. You see, you know, if we have someone that specializes in economy,
Then
a
it's all good
master's degree in business administration,
Ah,
it might take care of his paper
okay.
because he's dancing towards statistics, dancing towards economical and financial area.
How much pages also would you say that the proposal should be?
Pardon?
How much pages do you think this proposal should be?
Proposal might be depending on
Preferred.
you.
What's the preferred?
No, it's depending on you. The most important is that title. And then it contains all this as much as you can at the initial stage, because remember that proposal will go with future tense, not past tense or present tense.
What you plan to do?
Yes. Sheikh, are you aware of that? Already you have submitted. Nan, are you aware of that? What you will do. So remember, that's a kind of grammatical structure. Sharma, do you know that? Proposal is what you will in the future. Okay. So this is chapter 4 and then chapter 5. Sometimes the list of tables, it depends on the kind of research you are doing. It's not a must. It's not for everybody. Are you there? You will see list of tables. It depends on your research. That is why I've been hammering on one thing, and I hope all of you are getting it. I'm hammering on the fact that the format depends on your research. At the same time, your advisor and whether he's the particular way he wants to do his own handle you. If I'm the one, I will try to bring you back to the one I will understand. Because being advisor doesn't mean the person knows everything. Imagine if you give me to advise Henry, and he's talking about economic. What do I know about economic? Yeah, I may know something about peace and what the other part of his research. He mentioned peace, sustaining peace and what? What is it? Peace and stability. Peace and stability. I may know something about it, but how about the economic aspect? But because we don't have enough lecturers in our to deal with our topics, that's why we're happy that almost all of you are putting your direction, your paper towards our department, because most of us are international relations and politics and peace and governance. I mean peace and diplomacy as well. We graduated from that field, or social sciences, or religion, or sociology, or even philosophy. So, but once your title is different and altogether, we may look for an expert for you. And on that note, we wonder how much you paid that we have to look for expert to pay him special in order to advise you. Okay, so this list of tables and list of diagrams, it depends on whether your work has anything to do with that. Abbreviations depends on whether your paper has something like that. It's not a must. So you see, now chapter 1, background and significance of research. You see, please can you, Celestine, why are you so good at distraction in classes? It's not a mark of good and respect to any lecturer. Okay. 1.1, background and significance of research. Remember, look at how they put, I'm not sure if you guys are seeing this. If you have the, it's already online, right? Yes. Look at, you say, how many paragraphs are there?
3.
Correct. So this is just a format anyway, but for you to be reminded that you will have to structure everything you write in paragraphs. Look at first paragraph, second paragraph, the third paragraph, or even fourth or fifth or sixth. But the most important is that make sure that your work is structured in a way that anybody that reads it, you will understand you have concept of paragraph in order to say the background and significance of your research. So he ended it with the research intends to analyze with objective. So background of your and significance. This example, this format ended with objective. Ended with objective. Some people will end it with thesis statement. Some will end it with something else, or even research question. Then research question. Question 1, question 2, question 3. Research objective 1, 2, and 3. Are you guys getting the way it is put here? 1.2. So the first question, 1.121. Second question, 122. Third question, 123. Then the same thing applies to objective. First objective, 131. Why is it 131? It's under research objective, which is 1.3. Are you guys there? And then 132. Then 133. You see, 4 questions, 4 objectives. 3 research questions, 3 research objectives. You make these things just try to make all these very, very easy for you. The more you complicate it, the more you find it very difficult to navigate. You ask 3 questions, even if it's 2 questions, then be able to have 2 objectives. If possible, 3 questions, 3 objectives. And then almost the same thing, just the other one, you structured it as a question. The other one, just like a verb to analyze, to showcase, to do whatever. Okay, now research methodology. Yeah, the method you used. Look at the way the words used here. I do not think that it is binding on you. You may have your own, the way you should put it. Conceptual framework, look at it here. You see that? The researcher shall analyze the conduct of Cambodian diplomacy in responding to the China's expansionism and United States interferences, the rivalry of China with U.S. powers, and balance of power that have effect on internal politics and external affairs of Cambodia, as shown in diagram 1.1. You see where the format is coming from? Hello? Yeah, because it's a format from a student he directed. That is why I'm just telling you all the time, emphasizing that a particular format depends on you, your title, and your supervisor. If you ask me, if I'm the advisor here, conceptual framework of research, this might not be the way I would put my own conceptual framework. But this is the way for this particular topic and this particular logic, because everything determines on your flow. Any question? Is it becoming clearer now? That the format in question is the format of a particular student, which is not my own format, but we are together, because everything will still be the same, but the structure, arrangement, organization might be different. Are you getting the point? At the end of the day, everything is the same. For example, now conceptual framework in my own, it might be just a word instead of diagram. And some people might be circle, depending on who does it. Do you have any question here? Definition of term is very, very important. I said it in one of the videos. Can you tell me what you understand by definition of term, Chika? Do you have a Chika? What in definition of term? What does that mean in an independent study?
Definition of terms is just most of the terms that you used in your work. Try to define it for a better understanding.
Better understanding, like how? Because dictionary can give better understanding. If that is the case. Like how? Because dictionary can give better understanding if that is the case.
Okay, just like what what the words actually meant in the paper.
What the words
Yeah.
meant in the paper.
Yes.
Which means if somebody reads the paper, you will understand that word according to
Yes.
the paper is just about this way. You want people to understand that
Understand it.
term.
Yes.
Let me ask other students and see what they think of. Definition of term in your paper, what does that mean?
Yes, I think that can be two. The first one is the definitions of the terminologies which you use in your
That is
research
definition of
paper.
terminology, what does that mean in the paper?
Sorry?
Definition of term,
Yes.
what does it mean? What does it stand for in the paper? That title, definition of term.
I think that I have two answers. The first one is can be a terminologies of terminology that you use in your paper. The second one is the word, what is referred to, the explanations of the words of the vocabularies that researchers use in the paper.
Okay, Henry, can you?
When we talk about definition of terms in a research paper, it simply refers to the clarification and explanation of key concepts used in that research. Sometimes words, phrase, that's it.
Okay. Then what do we mean by definition of term?
I think
It's a clarification of various terms and concepts that are used in your paper. So it's an explanation of whether you use jargon or whether you used any particular type of language that's particular to your subject. Your definition of terms is your opportunity to provide an explanation for what that means.
Okay.
For me, I think the term is to give the definition. I mean, the definition of term is used to define a word. I mean, the way you wrote it in your paper, and also you can classify it with the Google term as well, just to make know people about your word used in your paper.
With definition of terms, you tell your readers what the general meaning of the word is and how you intend to use it in your own writing. The writer's intention of a particular word, especially when you have jargons, when you have, bringing certain things into the writing that needs explanation. Sometimes people have different understanding of what you are writing. So you tell them so that they know exactly what you mean when you say this is this. When they are reading your book, they see that this is what you mean by this and not what they have in their head.
Yeah, correct. All of you got it very well, and I'm very happy that you understand it very, very well. Definition of terms in an academic paper means that just everything you guys said. You use a particular word, but dictionary said this, but that's not this way these other people will view it. The concept cultural, because of different culture, different environment, different settings. There are things that you mention that some people consider as taboo. But in another place, it's just it's normal. For example, let's talk about the issue of marriage. If you are writing on social papers or with social perspective, and you are writing on cultural papers with cultural perspective, when you use the word marriage, do you think you need to define what you mean by marriage? Why? Give him the mic. Why? And they are not seem to be coordinating this very well. Please, can you give? I gave you that mic.
I thought you was. Who's explaining?
Damien. It's because you guys have met studying in Siam University as a personal thing that each time lecturer is talking, most of you are using your phone and using your laptop. So you don't even know when he kept the thing for you because you're not here. Okay.
What was the question again? Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So if, but just know that it's only done in this university. With my knowledge of studying in many universities, unless because most lecturers are allowing you to do whatever you want. Maybe except my class sometimes. because that's not the correct thing. It's not even a correct behavior. Except in a situation a lecturer would give us something, then you're putting it. It depends on the class anyway, but the way you guys use it and say, I know it's based on disrespect. Because if you know what is respect, you can't be in someone's class doing something else. If you know the real definition of respect and disrespect. Because it's not the, I don't know, depends on where you're coming from, but to some extent, in this particular setting, if a lecturer is in class, you are doing something else without his permission. You are disrespecting him. You might even be jotting what he's saying, but that's not the point. You need permission to do that. It depends on the class. So, but most of you in this particular program, sometimes I go and see how you guys study. Everybody is busy with phone. I say, but at the end of the day, who is cheating who?
Yeah.
That's the fact.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you think you know much, why wasting time to come? You can stay in your room. So just know that it's not a good behavior, no matter how you try to twist it. And my class doesn't accept that, and I believe all of you must have known that. Okay, now we're on the level of definition of terms. If we use marriage in a paper, does it need to be defined?
I would say yes.
Why?
Because like, what are we marrying? So we need to be clear about what we speak. Because we could be speaking about two issues and we could marry the issues, right? Or we could be speaking about two people in a cultural context and two people could be married. So there are semantics at play. So we need to clarify.
Define what we mean?
Yes, we need to clarify what.
Who else has anything to say about marriage? Whether you need, because marriage is supposed not to be defined, but why should we define it in our paper?
Because also in today's world, like marriage is when I grew up, marriage means different. Marriage means a different thing. Oh, we still have this. Marriage means a different thing now as it did, I guess, when we were in school, you know?
Yeah.
So therefore, I think in culturally speaking, in today's world, we need to define marriage. Because normally you'd think, traditionally speaking, when you say marriage, you think man, woman.
Yes.
But now we need to define it. Because now anything can marry.
Because was it Minister of Transportation by Joe Biden's administration, when they won the election, he was thanking, I can't remember, when he was also contesting for presidency and later resigned, or any of those, I can't remember, but he was actually, is it Buddha George or something, I can't remember. He was actually trying to thank everybody and was also thanking his husband.
What?
He was thanking everybody that gathered to support his political ambition, and was thanking, included thanking his husband.
Huh?
He was thanking his husband. Yeah. So then we were about to look at the husband, and eventually a man thanking the people and also thanking his husband. So his husband happened to be a man.
My God. So
no, I'm talking the current. It's not an old scenario.
I think this the interaction we're having now is a good case study of what we're speaking of now. When you said the story and you said he was thanking his husband, my first initial reaction was, huh? So that stands to reason as to why things need to be clarified. And
yeah, you see. So that is why sometimes, if you're an academic and you're writing a paper, you don't need to be timid. You don't need to be extraordinarily very conservative, thinking that the whole world is like that as it moves now. Whether you like it or not, you can stay with whichever impression you have about life. It's up to you. Put it in your pocket. But then, when it comes to that this is an academic, many things are ambiguous right now. Otherwise, you are removing some set of people from listening to what you're saying or from attending to you. Nobody will force you to anything, and I'm sure nobody is going to force me anything. But the point that I don't think I'm ready to force anything to anybody. But then you're talking about an academic, and then you are talking about marriage, and then you are presuming in your own world that current modern definition of marriage from dogmatic position of the church is man and a woman, then you are not yet an academic that is very open and honest and sincere with the current status of the world. It's as simple as that. So there are so many terminologies that when you use, you have to ask yourself, where are you heading to? So that's why you have to situate it in your paper, that what you mean by marriage here is marriage between husband and wife, man and a woman. Are you getting the point? It's very simple. We are not, nobody is fighting you with your own, because this is your paper. Who cares? But the point is that to be an academic, definition of terms, in your definition of terms, you go straight away and make it very clear that this paper considers marriage as union between a man and a woman, naturally. And you have to define it further, because some people have cut off every part of their natural body in order to twist it and this surgery, in order to give something else. You might even make mistake. So in your paper, you have to even go further psychologically to define this. By woman here is not a woman that did surgery. Neither is one that you mean. You have to go further. Originally a woman, naturally a woman, and originally a man, naturally a man. And the union between two of them is what your paper considers as marriage.
Yeah.
Is that clear?
So clarifying the terms is a way of finding an understanding, of finding a standard.
Your paper.
Yeah.
Because your paper is your authority. This is your property. And that your paper is authority.
First, define your terms.
I remember that from last semester. I remember. That's his famous quote.
Yeah. So you see, this is my property, right? It's not yours. This is my clothes. It's not yours, right? The same thing is about your paper. And then I decide whether I put perfume on my clothes, or whether I just wear it like that, or whether I iron it or not. So the same thing is with your paper. This particular paper have to define what you mean by whatever that you are talking about that is very ambiguous in the modern day. Unless you can just write your paper and eat it by yourself. Nobody will look at it. Because if you write it in certain ways, some people will consider it as a trash. So that's why it's very, very essential. Definition of terms. You might even talk about who can give me another example of terms that are very ambiguous nowadays in the modern gender.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, gender. I think there's a transgender, right?
Transgender as well.
Transgender. Well, you call them he, she, or he, her, what?
Transvestites.
Misties.
Transvestites.
Don't misgender me.
Yeah. But in today's world, transvestites is considered offensive. So they just considered trans. I don't know why vestite is offensive. But
when you want to write about them, you write trans or like he or she or what?
It depends what the person wants to be known as. That's the issue.
The sickness now is that even in America, to greet somebody or to talk about somebody and you call him, you say him, and maybe he identifies as she, as they. Some say they, them. Don't call them, they are non-binary. So
yes.
They are not male, they are not female.
I spoke to people like that before that say they are non-binary. So they're not male and they're not female. And then you're like, okay, but how do I talk to you? Are you a thing? And then they say, no, you must call me they. But then I tell them, but they is plural. So now, what are we doing here?
They say they are both male and female.
Exactly. But there's a word for that as well. That's hermaphrodite. And they're not that. So what do they, what are you? You know, because there's a word for things that are defined. For everything.
Okay, so that's a very nice point. Then, how about, what do you mean by sex? You mean sex or gender, apart from gender? Yeah, gender should be defined as well in your paper. That's why your paper should be very tactful and be very, very sensitive. Because whether you like it or not, you are not the owner of the world. That is my stand. And whatever you believe it for yourself. Whatever you stand it on for yourself. But provided it's within you, and within your conclave, and within your group. But then the question remains that as an academic, your paper should be the one that should be seen following the science of time. But then you will also like to be an academic that is very conservative, even when 100 years to come. So that is why you have to stand on whatever you believe in and then define it, what you are standing on. Okay, now what sex is another sensitive statement. What do you mean by sex here? Mean having sex with animal or?
So we must define now, are we speaking of sex the act or sex the gender?
Exactly. Ordinarily, sex and gender used to be interchangeable.
Not today.
But now,
can you give him mic so that I can hear what he's saying?
now, yeah.
What do you are making a point? What is that?
The earlier before now, before this, what I call frenziness or postmodernist frenziness of changing sex and changing everything, there used to be sex and gender, because gender basically is like a societal role. It's like a societal construct of what a male is, or the role a male should be playing and the role a female should be playing. But unfortunately, with this these latest times, gender is almost equated with that societal role. So that is why anybody can be anything. I can identify as a goat, can identify as a cat, and it doesn't matter. It's not your concern. Your concern is to just leave it the way So everybody wants to be anything he wants. But sex, as it is a natural X, what do you call it?
XY.
Yeah, XY chromosome, which is male and female. But unfortunately, even in that sex, there is now confusion because people now go into transgenderism, changing their organs. And in that situation now, who is now the male? Who is the female? And that is why the confusion now is to leave everybody the way he presents himself.
They are having a male and a male, and a female and a female. So what do you call that?
What did you say? Again.
Even in the sex, you are having a male and a male, and a female and a female.
What? It sounds like a party to me.
Well, it's not a party. They are having sex.
It sounds like a party to me.
You are confusing sex as biology and the sex as intercourse. This is the confusion.
Yes, because
sexual intercourse and the sex.
Sex
When we
is-
talk about
sex
sex,
is
we are talking
physical.
about the biology of the body.
It's like a dog can have sex, a male or female. Sex is a biological thing that's there, X or Y.
Can we be? We're not hearing you because he has the mic there.
I don't even have a lady boy in this class.
I think sex is a
He or she has to tell us.
they just have to defend themselves.
How would the person feel about that?
No, he's saying something. Damian is saying something.
Oh, I think like sex is a biological like makeup. So sex can be attributed down to the DNA that a person has. Like a female would have XY chromosome, male would have XX chromosome, no problem. But no matter which changes you do to your body, no matter which physical changes or hormones you take to change anything in your body, you can't change your DNA. So essentially, your sex will remain your sex until the day you die. However, your gender can be fluid. And that's what we heard in today's world. People have fluid genders. They decide I'm they, I'm him, or whatever. And that goes with their pronoun changes as well. So gender is the construct. It's what people have created so that we can socialize with one another in a certain level of respect. But sex is what we are. A dog you can determine the sex of a dog, but a dog can't tell you its gender.
Well, unfortunately, that could have been.
Give him mic.
What you're saying now could have been correct as at the last 2 years, last 3 years. As at this year, that sex is even redefined now. I don't even understand. Even with your DNA, people now claim that they can be cats. It's not about gender.
Currently in America, I think the kids are being told to decide whether they want to.
That is the problem. Ordinarily, it was gender. Before, it started with gender. Normally, we had sex, XY chromosome and XX chromosome. But now it has transitioned from talking about gender
to talking about even sex itself that is natural. So now people who do plastic surgeries now decide that even with that hormone blockers that they take, that they are now fully male. Once they transition from that gender from this gender to this gender, that they are now that their sex, you can't tell them that their sex is male. That is the problem.
It's very nice, but that's how they feel, unfortunately.
You are saying what?
That's how they feel, unfortunately, but that's not how things are. You know, I can walk out here and declare myself to be a goat. That's how I feel. But it's not what I am. It's very different.
Yeah, that is the confusion. That is the confusion.
That is the confusion. I remember this first question was directed to Donald Trump, and I loved his answer. He said, anybody can feel anything. If you decide to become an angel or become a lion or a cat, that is up to you. But unfortunately, the postmodern era doesn't want to hear those things. They think it is a cake. Nobody should tell anybody what to be or what not to be.
But
So that is the problem. What I feel.
Changing. The society is busy. What I see is that the society is busy changing. We're in a state of flux.
If we can give assignment and students can just ask AI and produce the assignment, we don't have problem with that. Then why should we have problem with this situation? Because the society is changing.
But the point I was going to make is that, to touch on his point as well, and how people are just forcing their opinion, and the rest of us just have to go along with it. Otherwise, we are either anti-Semitic or homophobe, or these words that they call you. That they have words prepared for you that if you're not along with the agenda, you will be labeled as one of these words, right? But this is a time in society now, in history, when we, dare I say, the normal people should fight against this dogma that is being posed down to us, you know?
And then you forget that those people you consider abnormal are the ones controlling the society now.
Exactly.
They are
That's
the
the
people
point.
who say what is and what is not.
Otherwise, look at an American Congress that they prayed. After praying, they say, "Amen, a woman."
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what they said.
But look at the...
Hey man,
His
I don't
point-
know the concept why they got that idea. Say, hey man, meaning that a man is dominating. It should be a man and a woman. A woman. Or
But that's
whatever.
not even the meaning. It just means so it shall be. Like so.
You are the one saying that. So the whole American Congress during union when they come together
Yes,
after
the
praying
Senate.
that they say a man, a woman.
Wow. Wow. But to touch on his point as well, it was very obvious if you watch the opening of the Olympics. Do you watch the opening of this year's Olympics? The whole opening of the Olympics was like a faggot show. It was just like people cross-dressing, people being gay. Seriously. It's a very big problem. Because the thing is, you have children that watch this, and this is the problem. It's fine if you want to push this agenda to me and Celestine and any of us here that can defend it and defend ourselves, but they push this agenda subtly using bright colors and loud music on children. That's the thing. And they do this so that then when the next generation reaches our age, it's no longer this debate.
Yeah.
Then everybody's on the same level.
It's an agenda.
That's why you have to protect your children now. Because there's an agenda to...
How can you, when you
brainwash
give them
children.
phone, they even go to the phone and get...
That's the
information.
problem. You shouldn't give them a phone before a certain age.
If you don't give them phone, you're a bad daddy now.
No, there's a way you control. Because one thing about education is how you allow your child to be educated. Unfortunately, in the United States, it's not like that again. It's even a debate for you to what you teach your children. The state is now telling you what you must teach your children. And unfortunately, they are even bringing it to the schools. And now you go to the social, you see parents going to the school.
Critical
to fight.
theory.
Don't teach my children this and don't teach my children that. But unfortunately, how do we fight against the system when a system is already rigged for a certain agenda? That is a big problem.
But are you in support of Trump?
Yes, I support Trump.
Do you support Trump?
For that primary reason. That is the only
Okay,
reason.
yeah, because sometimes
Because
the problem
we
we
need
have
to redefine
problem we have
reality.
in the society. Problem we have in the society that sometimes even the person that will be there for you to sell your idea, they have made the person so weak that they make you think that that person is the wrong person. But for me, I think Trump is an outstanding person that actually all these guys that are there, I don't think I don't think prof is a light for me. I may be wrong, but
Leviathan.
For anybody who is interested in a moral society, then Trump should be the number one person, because the liberals are like they are cancerous.
exactly.
The Democrats, in fact, historically, Democrats have been cancerous to
Exactly.
morality.
Very
everything,
manipulative, in my
because
own
they were the people. If you remember 2008 when Obama climbed, he was a total liberal, and immediately he climbed, that's where all this problem began. Obama began all these things, and that's why to me he's a disgrace to black folks. He's a disgrace because people had high hopes in him that he's going there to maintain the standards and the status quo, and then he went there and overturned everything. Because to me, I see him as they just pushed him there.
Was he not the one that killed Mama Gandhi? What's that man? Like Gaddafi.
Yeah, no.
No.
Gaddafi was killed by Hillary Clinton and Nicholas
Clinton.
Clinton is under who?
Hillary Clinton.
Under whose leadership?
That was under was it
George Bush. George Bush.
Wasn't it before?
Yeah, George Bush.
It was George Bush.
No.
What? Yes.
But Gaddafi was.
No. Gaddafi that was just killed under Obama's directive. No fly zone. Is it not?
Because you remember the secretary of
Which one is Gaddafi? The Libya?
Libya.
Ah, it's under Obama now.
No, are you not sure you're not thinking about Osama bin Laden?
No. Libya. Gaddafi, the president of what's that name? Gaddafi, right? Gaddafi. Is it not Obama? Obama was one that said something somewhere that they sent after they went for him.
That's Hillary Clinton. She said we came,
No.
we saw he died, right?
That is not.
We saw he died.
Google. Let's make the correction
You
here.
know, my dog is named Gaddafi. Yeah.
I think.
All of my first male dogs in my family is named Gaddafi. Because I named all of my animals after enemy.
Libya President Gaddafi was killed just a few years ago under Obama.
2006, wasn't it?
Under Obama. Please Google. Check your phone. Under Obama.
2006.
Huh?
2006, talking about Osama bin Laden. 2007, 2008. Gaddafi is a
Because Obama got bin Laden, right?
Yeah, Obama is the one that I think is the one that killed Gaddafi. When I think Clinton,
So Gaddafi died
2011.
2011.
who is
killed in March. It was Obama.
I'm not confusing about it. It's Obama. Because why? You made mention of because why I don't like him too, for him to have been the one that killed our leader.
That's our leader. You know, he was an African man that wanted to start an African currency.
Yeah.
And Hillary Clinton, if you have time, you can still read the emails. You can
There was a leaked email of Hillary Clinton.
It's called the
How
succession.
they planned the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to start a united state of Africa.
Exactly.
It's called the succession of the African leader. You can look at it on WikiLeaks and you can read about it. Hillary Clinton and Nicholas Sarkozy
Okay.
established a military intervention. With
Thank God we understand. Some of us here, we are all in common understanding based on this.
And
So anyway,
Obama was the person that killed the most people via drone strikes. Ever.
okay. So we are still in definition of terms. Thank God you guys understood the situation. So limitation of research, you know that very well, right?
Yes.
Then expected benefits of your research. Yeah, these are samples. You can. This format is very important for you because you can still sieve certain things from there to add to your paper, depending on you and your professor. Okay, now chapter 2, as we said, you see that, and then I don't think that the format here is also to some extent 2.1. How about the starting point? It should be introductory part then now. If it's introductory part, do you understand what I mean? In this study of this independent study on title, blah, 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 the researcher has collected, blah, blah, blah. It shouldn't be left vacant like that. You should have 2.1 there, or 2.0, or just 2. You see that? Are you guys dictating what I'm dictating?
I think here is just a standard format. When you want to write, you can't begin a literature review without giving a background to it.
Yeah, then that background, I'm saying that it should be 2 now. Do you understand what, instead of, it should be 2. That, because nothing is there. I don't know if you understand what, here, there's nothing here. But here, there's 2.1. Are you guys looking at it?
Yes.
There's 2.1 here, but there's no 2 here. Because in your academic paper, you always follow something with your identification, so that your content, table of content will also be clearly written. So there should be 2 here. Chapter 2, 2, or 2.0, depending on the format you're following, before you now say 2.1. Or you call this one 2.1, then 2.1.1, 2.1.2, something like that. I don't know if you guys are getting what
I understand.
Yeah. So these are confusions you might see, just to take.
If something like this, maybe you make such an omission in your paper.
If I am the advisor, it can be, because I would dictate that. That's why it depends on the advisor. It's not possible. In my paper, the first thing I look is structure. Structure is very important for me. Is either this is 2, then this is 2.1, or you decided this one as 2.1, then 2.1.1, the first theory, 2.1.2, the second theory, 2.1.3, the third theory. So this one should be 2.1. Yeah, it's supposed. Chick, are you there? Because I just want you not to be confused with this particular format that this particular advisor used. Why I didn't want to use my own is because it's a philosophical department. But then when when I am your advisor, then it means that I have to look at a topic, and then we know if we go this way or we go that way. So look at this one. There's an error here. That should be. That is why I wanted to use this to teach, so that we're pointing out certain things. Yeah, but this advisor may support this way, but I will not, because I would like this place to be identified as 2.1. Then this first theory will be what? 2.1.1. So this particular concept and theory should be here. Hello, guys, are you there? Chairman, are you guys one? So this particular here should be copy and paste here as introductory part of this particular chapter 2. Then here, the first theory will be 2.1.1. Then this one will be 2.1.2. Another one, 2.1.3. Are you guys getting the point? We are from the field of philosophy. So, so chapter 3 is, yeah, depends on your advisor and whatever. Chapter 2 could be anything. Might be methodology. Depends. Or it might be defending objective 1, or defending chapter 4, defending objective 2, chapter 5, defending objective 3. All these could determine, it depends on how your paper, the volume of the paper. Because if you submitted, let's say, 100 pages, then you now see that if your advisor will help you to identify how you sort them out. But imagine you submitted 20 pages only, or 30 pages, and then it can be sorted out in this particular way, because this student's weakness is there. It doesn't have more words. So that is why chapter 2, you say objective 1. In this one. Then chapter 3, say objective 2. Maybe because he's trying to accommodate the capacity of the students, this particular student in question. Do you get that? But somebody who has already submitted everything, about 100 pages, yeah, we can't use this word now. We might even stress it up to 6 chapters. Is he entering? Yes, sir. Okay, this is chapter 4. Then chapter 5, conclusion and recommendation. So what have you to say about conclusion and what are you concluding? Conclusion and discussion. What is the difference between conclusion and discussion and then recommendation? Chika. What is the difference between conclusion and discussion and then recommendation?
Conclusion and discussion. Conclusion is just for you to summarize, kind of a summary of everything you have done, and then have a little bit of a talk concerning the whole work that you have done.
What do you mean? Be specific, Abek.
Okay, being specific.
Conclusion and discussion and recommendation. What? Can you differentiate them?
Conclusion is to finalize, to bring together everything that you have done in the work, just like a summary. Then recommendation is your what you are to recommend after you have finished your work. Then what you think that needs to be done for the topic, whoever that is going to read your material will try to use to see and to correct any loopholes in the country. Yeah.
No, but that is it now.
Okay. Conclusion and discussion.
Professor, I confused. Why do we need to put a discussion in the conclusion part? I thought that discussion should be a chapter 3 or 5
because
to write our
maybe you are
finding.
following a particular format.
Yes.
But this particular format put it this way.
Yes.
The person that directed this particular person wanted it this way.
Yes.
What you're saying is correct.
Yes.
But that's a different format.
Yes, sir.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So in this particular format of this particular independent studies,
Yes.
the supervisor directed the person to put it this way. So in chapter 5, they put conclusion and discussions. But the format you are saying is also correct format too. So now I want to know, what do you think is the difference between conclusion and discussion and the recommendation?
So I think that discussion is what our findings. We need to write our findings of the research and maybe findings or maybe arguments for our research. Conclusions is need to reflect the whole discussions and the whole paper. So we need to give the readers. We need to give a chance to readers what we are discussing and what are the findings in the research paper.
Okay, Henry. Well, can you tell us the difference between conclusion and discussions as well as recommendations?
So to me, when you talk about conclusion, it simply means like a brief summary of your work, including like you're concluding a work, like this is what is the objective, the purpose of this research, and this is what the final ending of this research is. While in the discussion parts, you mostly talk about your findings and discussing about the topic in full, in detail. Then your recommendation is like, okay, let's say you recommend that they should use this solution or they should use this particular method or use this solution to solve this problem that you're writing in your research.
You sound so vague in discussions. You're saying what is discussion.
Discussion to me means like your findings. Discussion simply talks about mostly.
Yeah, you're correct, but
your
you are
findings.
simplifying it so much that you need to say more.
Say more like discussion. Okay, findings. Discussing about the topic as a whole.
You are using discussion to tell us discussing the topic. Anyway, everything you said is okay, but you should add more.
Conclusion. So conclusion is when you rehash everything that you've already spoken about in your last bit. So you go over everything that you've already stated, but in final totality to restate your full work, but in your last point of saying it basically. And then you have a discussion where in your discussion part you would bring out perhaps things that perhaps challenges that were along the way in you finding your results, and perhaps other opinions that you found along the way, and how you managed to bring these opinions or to make them congruent with your paper. And then what I can't see.
Sandy, are you listening?
I can't see what's the last one?
Recommendations.
Your recommendations is what you personally feel that if this action was taken, things could be better. Your personal takeaways for improving whatever your issue you were speaking about. So those three parts should always be included, but specifically a conclusion should always be there, and a recommendation section should always be at the bottom, because it allows the reader to know what you personally feel can be the way forward.
Wow.
Conclusion. For conclusion, I would say that it's about mentioning the main points of your paper. Like you are mentioning the main points that you have discussed, or findings of your paper, and you just want to know, want to make the readers know that what you meant by your whole paper, just by focusing on the main points of your paper, to be honest, to be precise. And about discussion, it's about you are analyzing your findings and also interpreting the issue, or the what else to include? Yeah, mainly you can say that. So it's like you are just analyzing and also interpreting it for the better understanding of your paper.
Okay.
And for the recommendation, it's like you would like to recommend the readers, or else you can go with your paper as well, like what you would like to recommend for your paper. If you want to make it more, yeah, like let's say you would like to recommend, like you say that you're finding on this and this topic, and wish if there is more of information to be added to your paper, so that would be quite useful in future research. So that's what I'd say for the recommendation.
Wonderful.
So would I be correct in saying that when you stating your recommendation, your recommendations, it's almost like you're plotting a future path. So say for instance, this person, if they had any issue or any problem with, not problem, but any question with this part of research, in your recommendations is where you can say, this is where you can read more about specifically this topic, or this is the source of this notion that I presented.
Yes, of course. Recommendation, just like you are finished. Anyway, let me hear from one of you.
In conclusion, you recap what you have done through the paper, from the introduction, from where you began, your research and your findings. Then by discussion, this is where the writer now opens up his mind to the readers, what he meant and his own ideas now. This is the only place you have time to put down your ideas, discuss your ideas with your readers. Then by recommendations, first recommendation is maybe like I studied Igbo apprenticeship, you suggest what should be done to make the Igbo apprenticeship, against that your research. What should be done? What should make this look better? Then for future recommendations, for subsequent research on that particular area, these are places you think should be looked into. These are areas you think should be, because of certain limitations, I couldn't do it now, but I believe in the future, this area should be looked into, should be studied, should be observed.
So Celestine, do you agree with me when I say that your recommendations is like plotting a future path?
Yes, it's like like suggesting for a future research.
Okay, so I think you guys have gotten it clearly in discussions. When you put up a kind of questionnaire, you ask questions, you have to, in discussion, you have to say the conflict inside that questionnaire. You have to say why elderly people answered yes more than the younger ones. Yeah, that's why it's called discussion. You have to pour out your observations, everything you have found out in that particular paper, and how things went. In fact, in some places that you encounter dangers also, that's why it's called discuss. You are discussing the paper. And then both the pros and cons, even in your objective one, difficulties encountered, and depending on the type of research. Then in the objective two, objective three, and then because you ask a lot of, you went so many places, and probably you read books, and some books were written a particular period of time, and those books were sounding this way. Another book, other books were written in a particular period of time, it also sounded this way. Just like we are talking about the issue of definition of terms. Yeah, some people will give some example about marriage or something like that. You have to explain those things in that discussion. Because just like a place that most people will leave paper and go to the discussion to see how you came up with certain things. Yeah. Your argumentation, your analysis, the real analysis of the discovery. Then recommendation, as you guys said, is something that both for future use and even for today and for further research, giving room, what you are not able to do. You are not recommending the next person to ask this kind of question. Should not ask this kind of question to this particular kind of people. Maybe you'll be beaten up because he was not very sensitive, that he went and asked some people certain question, like talk about trans, them, or they, them, or whatever. Then when talking to them, you shouldn't use certain, you have to pour out certain things and recommend the best way someone should ask, which you have learned when you are confronting that kind of sensitive situation. So that is what I would say about this. So,
can I say that the assumption, like what you said when what you were just saying, I forgot. That's I forgot. It all just left my mind. It just left my mind. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, doctor.
them. So today is my last day of presentation. The next one is yours. So did you take your topics already?
Oh no.
Do you have your topics already?
No, sir.
Huh?
Sure. Yes, sir.
Can you go and then can you call it out for everybody? Let me see whether it worth it or not. So who's supposed to present what?
Okay, me, chapter 1 and 2, Henry, 9, 12, 13, 15, 16, 9, 6, 7, 8, 10.
Please, can you point out the first presenter? Tell me what and what are the topics the first presenter would present. Can you call it that way?
Advice to beginners, writing research proposal.
Advice to beginners, and then who will present that one?
Writing research.
So that is you.
Oh, I'm 14. So
Okay, then who is next?
Next, who will be the second? The next is, I think, Henry is here. That is a good thesis statement, theoretical framework, conceptual framework, literature review, and definition of terms.
Who?
Henry.
Okay, Henry, are you ready for that?
Next week,
Yes.
I'm not sure if I'm ready next week.
Then Sheikh, are you ready for that? Okay, so who is next to present?
Lang, Significance of study. Limited.
Okay, are you ready for that? Huh? Next week. Do you have another paper from other subjects
Yes.
to present next week?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, you have presentation next week.
Yes.
Oh, no wonder. Okay, so who is next according to your the
The next is Damien.
Damian will present what?
Plagiarism and
Citations.
citation with reference.
Citations and references.
Plagiarism, citations, okay.
14 and 17.
So who is next?
Celestine. Research paper and types. Research proposals and literary analysis.
I thought the research professor, someone has taken it.
What I'm doing is research paper and types, research process and literary analysis.
Because proposal, you have taken it already. Are you not part of proposal? Okay, so who is next?
The next is Salo.
Showman.
Shama Melody.
Yeah.
Okay. Shama is taking 2021 to 2023 and asks what is an introduction, what is the body, what is this one conclusion, what is an abstract, discussion and findings, and conclusion and recommendation.
Okay, so Sam, are you ready next week?
I think I will be.
Okay, you'll be ready to present them next week.
Yeah.
Remember that you have to structure your presentation in such a way that is it one PowerPoint or just different? Which one is better?
One PowerPoint.
What?
It will be in one PowerPoint. Make it in series.
Or is it to be submitted differently or just one?
One PowerPoint.
Okay, so about 20 or 30 slides.
20?
That's what I'm saying. If it depends on topic now. Because it shouldn't be one slide, one topic. No. Should be done in such a way that each topic defines itself by your PowerPoint. So who will now feed us tomorrow? I mean next week. Next week. I have
I don't know. Maybe I'm free.
Are you aware that we are changing this time? It's no longer on Sunday. Next week it should be a Saturday, 5 p.m.
No, I can't. I can't. My work schedule.
Because initially this class is on Saturday.
Yeah,
but because of Dr. Shitpo, he has to change and swap because of his traveling. So that's why it was. Because if it is done on Saturday, it will clash with some students that are doing research methodology. So now we're going back to our original date, which is Saturday, 5 p.m. While those who are doing research methodology will do it Saturday, Sunday, 5 p.m.
So I can't come to that. I have to work because I changed my work schedule twice this year. They think I'm lying.
Okay, only you, right?
I think so.
So guys, because initially this class supposed to be Saturday 5 p.m. You know that now before
Yes.
Initially, it's just that a particular lecturer was having issue, so we just switched it because because of peace and governance, some students will crash if it is today. So that's why we changed it today. So now we are going back to original date. So on Saturday, we start by what time next week? Can we start earlier?
Saturday, I think I will be present to school.
Do we start earlier?
I think 4 is better so that we can go early because staying till this time is really stressing me out.
No, but you registered for it. That's not an excuse. The most important thing, can we just adjust the time?
Can we start earlier? Then maybe I can make it.
Yeah.
Is there any way we can start earlier than that?
All of you, I think the class is only for 6 of you, right?
What? Yeah, the class.
Technically, this class, hello? Technically, this class is only 6 of you, right?
Yes.
Okay, now on that note, do you have a class by 1 p.m. on
Yes, we
Saturday?
do. Yes, we do.
Wow.
I have 2 classes.
Yeah,
One
us. We all have a Saturday.
So only Sunday is the free day, available day? Because if I could use Sunday, that means I have to cancel peace and study class. Peace and governance.
Yeah, that's their problem.
Huh?
That's their problem. We done with that. We finished with that.
So independent studies, so you are only free on Sunday, but you're not free on Sunday 1 p.m., right?
We are free.
When?
By 1.
When?
Sunday. Yes, we
But
have
Sunday
only
at 1, yes.
Yes, we have only 1.
Sunday 1 p.m., are you free?
Sunday at 1.
1.
Yes.
Yeah, we are free.
Yes.
All of you here, are you free Sunday by 1 p.m.?
Yes.
That is in the morning.
Asian diplomas.
Okay, only you, right?
Okay.
Only you. So we can excuse you then now for that. Okay, now, are you free 1 p.m. Sunday? I didn't understand the answer. Is it that you're free?
That was too cool. That was too cool. That's too cool.
Exactly. So, are you? I just want yes or no because you are free on Sunday. Okay. Nan, are you free on Sunday 1 p.m.? Oh, but that means I won't rest. Okay. Henry, are you free on 1 p.m. Sunday?
Yes, 1 p.m.
On Sunday. Okay. Damian, are you free on 1 p.m. Sunday?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sharma,
Yes, sir.
yes. Okay. So we now have only Celestinas outside. Hopefully, if we have a video, he will watch it. The only difference watching the video of the class means that the person will be around my class to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want somebody to give me impression he watched while he didn't watch. Okay, so you see, so we are starting 1 p.m. on Sunday. But then if all of you could present it, finish that same week, we'll close the class.
Why don't we finish it? I will come over and present.
Pardon?
I will sneak out of that one and come and present.
And then we finished.
No. The person has to participate. So how many weeks left for us by the way?
I like how we all look at each other.
So let's end December. That's the last.
I don't need to. Don't forget, this independent studies is not.
No need.
No.
No need to go till December.
We can finish if we put up our mind. We can try and finish everything this week.
If we get through it. Yeah.
I think let us try and make it up and finish up next week.
The whole presentation next week
Everything.
for everybody.
That's some people. That's how we begin now to eat. That's why presentations take time. You prepare it, you do offhand. Say what you prepare. And it will be faster. You just wait for us to ask you questions.
The point is that this class, ordinary, once we finish the topic, you now go and start writing. It's not meant to be stretched until the end. I am the one, based on my type of teaching, I try to make sure we get what we're supposed to get. So, next week, who and who will present? Cheka. Chairman, are you presenting next week? 1 p.m.?
I guess I will.
You are guessing, but your topic is very simple. Then, but we start with you actually, because you are the one to show us what is the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. Then after that, who next? What is your topic, Cheka? Okay, yeah. So after Shaman, then Cheka. Maybe only 2 of you next week, or another person ready next week?
I think maybe I can also do next week.
What is your topic?
Plagiarism citations.
Plagiarism
Plagiarism
citation.
citations.
Okay, who else? Because we can even stress it tonight. If you have strength. Who else?
Bring beers.
Nah. Sunday you'll be having the research methodology class.
No, it has been. Wait. Okay, you are doing research methodology class.
No, I mean, you said you would drag it to you. We can
I will. That's what I'm saying. I will cancel peace and governance, and I'm not here to die. I will cancel peace and governance in order to attend to this, because once we get this thing finished, then I know I don't have it again. Are you? Is it possible? But I don't think we'll finish next week. I don't think.
Let everybody, let's do it next week. Everybody do it next week.
Yeah, okay, so it's better we finish it next week.
Since you want to cancel the class, so want to.
No, not since I want to. Don't commit me into cancel the class. The point is that not canceling. Yeah, exactly. Not canceling. But the point that this independent studies, I should give you time to go and do what we have put in place, and we may meet again maybe for the final exam or something like that.
You have exam?
What? Exam?
Oh, we don't have exam. What do we have then?
Is the exam for IS? Isn't your paper the exam?
No, this class is graded A, B, C, D.
But the quality, is it your paper that where you get the grade?
Pardon?
You get the grade from your paper, your IS, or
I thought the grade comes from maybe submitting your
Proposal. Yeah.
what's
going through.
Oh, you guys are telling me my.
No, we're asking.
I,
Inquiring minds.
Like that. You did the research proposal.
okay.
Inquiring minds.
Well, let's talk about the exam after every presentation.
Yes.
Every presentation, once we are done with it,
One thing
then
at a time.
we talk about the exam, and then
How will the nature of the exam be?
we are talking about that. We have not even done presentation.
A separation
Because
of issues.
don't forget, attendance is 30 points, right?
Separation of issues. Very important.
Then midterm 30, exam 40, together 100. So presentation is considered as midterm. You get that? Then attendance 30. Then final exam. We'll talk about it after presentation.
That should be a proposal.
Or maybe watching video until it's finished. Or maybe or maybe coming to the classes after watching, I give you paper to answer what you have watched. And then whichever one. Let's talk about that one later. So thank you very much for today's class. I think we have to call it off. And I appreciate the fact that you guys have done it as it should be. So hope to see you next week by 1 p.m. All right. Bye-bye.
I think this is
Oh, wait. We have to check attendance, please. Wait for checking of the attendance.